And a good time it is. I'm Ernest Justin Turkey Leg, bringing you. I was about to say alongside of somebody, but I ain't with nobody. I'm by myself. Bringing you another podcast here. It's a big one. Got a whole lot in store for you. Uh, yeah, man, it's been crazy, dog. uh, I don't want to go on too long, but I gotta tell y'all about motherfucking my life and all the headaches, hassles, and horseshit, malarkey that's been going on. On this podcast, I always try to have a good time, right? We have fun. You know, we enjoy ourselves. But I tell you, in real life, your boy, whew. And I know you going through it too. I know. But that's why this is for you. But yeah, man, had run 4 yesterday. The whole week was great. But I had run 4, and I knew going into it, it could be tough. I went in there, and surprisingly, it wasn't like a whole lot of stuff. Like usually when I go to lazy days, like it's like a shit load of shit, a ton, you know. And this time it wasn't. It was just big stuff, and it was like hard to kind of place it, in the truck, correctly. Um, certain things. But anyways, yeah, it was man, it was tough, dog. Yesterday was a tough ass day, and then not to mention I didn't even bring my iPod. So I couldn't listen to no podcast. So I was just playing the WWE Network. I ain't have nothing to eat. I ain't have no money, so I just grabbed the whole loaf of bread. It was this bag on the table. One of soup bags. From his food that he be getting. Uh, and it was empty. So I just put bread, bologna, cheese, and mayonnaise in there, and I was just hoping there was some forks in there, which it was, so I could spread the mayonnaise. And yeah, so that's what I did later on. But man, hold on, let me get my damn. I just had hit the record button, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me. Hold on. Here it is, right here. Oh shit! See, I was gonna record it yesterday. I was gonna do this yesterday, so it could be fresh on my mind, and I can just go the fuck in. But I ain't wanna come across angry. I ain't wanna be angry on the podcast. I know I could be if I wanted to, but I'm not going there. I just want to be chill, and I wanna speak on it with rational thought. So this is the next day. I'm reading this, but this is what happened. So, you know, keep in mind, I ain't got my podcast. I mean, I ain't got my iPod. you know, it's just certain things, but we'll just get to the road. So I get the lazy days, and it's pretty good. I see the dude named Daly. You know what I'm saying? Just this older black guy. You know what I'm saying? Probably about 40 something. And he happy to see me, man. He's just like, hey, man, it's cool to see you, man. It's like when those other cats be coming in, they just be having like an attitude, and I was like, damn, for real. He was like, yeah, man. They just all like, I speak to them and they all like, oh yeah, hey, but at least conversational and stuff like that. And I'm like, to me, it's just like, of course, that's how you should be, with people that you're dealing with every day. You're gonna see them all the time. You might as well, fuck with them, get to know them. So, it was that felt pretty good. I'm like, okay, we're getting to a good start. And when you go to lazy days, you always, can anticipate being there at least 45 minutes to an hour because, like I said, it always takes so much to it always take they always have so much product, so it take time to unload it. And you know, then when you go from Lazy Days, you got to go. Actually, the first Lazy Days is called Lazy Days Accessories, and then the second one is called Lazy Days, which is like it's right there. It's like in the same fucking spot. You just go to the next section. Like they got all these different buildings and they divided, and so you just go over to the next section of Lazy Days, and that's actually called Lazy Days, and you go ahead and you unload that stuff, and like the company, got like numbers on the Lazy Days accessory stuff that's supposed to be on the Lazy Days stuff, and the dude was telling me about it daily, and I was like, damn, that's confusing. He's like, I know, man, but this stuff's supposed to go to them. So I had stuff for one place that was supposed to go to another place, and every time I go there, man, to Lazy Days, it's this older guy. He real cool, but he just be like pissed off. He's like, who's ordering all this shit? And I'm like, shit, I feel you. You know, so we got it unloaded. It was a success. And then he gave me more shit, like more big ass shit. Like he gave me this big ass mattress that was inside of a box. He gave me fucking like just like three big ass things on top of like all the shit that I already had. Like I had a full truck, and so boom. So I leave there. It's like and I wasn't even upset about it. I'm like, no big deal, because you could tell that it was like stressing him out. Like it was on his heart. Like he wanted to get that stuff off, and so like it was because it's in the way. Like they got their own space, and so I thought I ain't say it was a big deal, and I just had to roll with it. Move on to Tampa RV. I went to Tampa RV. They only had like two things. Like two small things. They usually get a lot of stuff, but on that day, they only had two small parts. And, I go there and I was looking for the big black dude. I wanted to ask him if he was a Marine, because, man, every time I go there, he'd be super serious. But this time, he was, like, full of joy. He was like, hey, man, here I am. Damn, that's all you got out there, brother? And I was like, yeah, man, that's all I got. And, he was all, like, whimsical this time. I'm like, damn, what the hell happened to him? Must have got some pussy. But, everything pretty much went smooth from there. Then I was trying to type in the address to General RV, which was the next place to go, but it wasn't working. But luckily, I know exactly where it's at. It's just, like, right around the corner. And, like, I had, like, two big-ass, like, I had an air conditioner and, like, some big heavy-ass shit. And I thought that was going to be a bitch to get off. But the guy just came over there. He always cool every time I go there. This bald guy with a lot of tattoos. He's super cool. He should be a celebrity or something. I don't know his name, but he a cool ass dude. And yeah, he went on and he pulled the shits off. You know what I'm saying? Like no big deal. Like I was pretty much in and out of there too. Oh boy. Then I went to O'Reilly's. Ladies and gentlemen, and on Thursdays, this is a Thursday, today Friday when I'm recording this. When I went to O'Reilly's, they had the like they probably had the most stuff out of everybody who ordered, on this day on the truck. They had like a lot of stuff, and but even though I kind of take that back, because even though like once I got everything off of that truck for O'Reilly's, my truck was it was still full as fuck. It still looked like I ain't do shit. So surprisingly, like it was just like that much stuff. Like damn. So yeah, that stuff came off, and I asked the lady. This is the second time, ladies and gentlemen. I asked the lady, "Is that everything on the list?" And she checked it off, and she was like, "Yes." Oh boy, turns out, you know, I still had a part that I had to bring back to her later on. But before I left O'Reilly's, because on Thursdays you got to pick up like product from O'Reilly's. You know what I'm saying? That's like a part of the job. Like every Thursday, we got to pick up product. So remember, I told you that Lazy Days, they got all they shit inside the fucking truck. Now O'Reilly's, I pull around the corner to like door 29 or something. That's where they say I got to go to. And They always remind you of that because niggas say they forgot. And then, Door 29 just sitting there, with that pallet full of shit. And today, on this day, man, when I be trying to have a good attitude about this shit, but I looked over to the left at Door 29 and that motherfucker was stacked full of shit. Everybody was looking at me like, they was trying to look for my reaction like, damn, he gonna be mad. He mad, ain't it? Like, everybody's kind of started to gather around and shit, like it was some spectacle. And they seen my truck and they was like, damn, they couldn't like my truck was like it was like I said, it was crazy, it was full and they just couldn't figure out how I was gonna do it. So I moved like a couple things around, just made enough space for these two giant toolboxes. They ginormous. They probably like 10 feet by fucking 5 feet, big long ass, you know, toolboxes. And they tall. And so, it was two of them. And the guys, they brought them in and they stacked them, you know what I'm saying? And then they gave me like a whole bunch of other long shit. And we just kind of like stacked it like up and around it, and everybody was like, damn, there's one lady who thick as hell. And, if I drink a lot, I'll probably, eat her butt. But anyways, edit that out, Martha, just do it for kicks. But anyways, so I was able to make it out of that, and they couldn't believe it. And I did it, and so here I am now on top of the bullshit that I had in the truck. Now I got more bullshit in the truck, and I got to go to the next place. And let's see. Oh yeah, Todd's Truck and RV. See, I flipped like 2 pages. They had 2 pages of fucking shit. The O'Reilly's Todd's Truck and RV. Every time I came up to a new place after that place, everybody was like, damn, look at your truck. You got a lot of shit. And that's exactly what they did. And, they be thinking it's funny and shit. But I don't be laughing. They be seeing the seriousness on my face. They be saying that nigga is not playing. And I just walked inside. You got to pull in around the back. I backed up, opened the truck up, because they had like two big ass fucking boxes too. Like they had some two, they had two big boxes and two kind of heavy boxes, and then like a small box and then something inside of a tote. You gotta watch out for shit inside of totes, inside of mixed totes, cause the mixed totes be having everybody's shit in it. They can't just put everybody's shit in their own totes, nah. So anyways, I offloaded that shit. It took me a while to do that shit, go back and forth, with each of those parts. Cause he was like, could you please like put it right here? He asked me if I could put it. He asked as nice as he possibly can. Like he wasn't trying to be funny, man. He didn't want me to kick his ass. So yeah, I did it. It wasn't no big deal. Like I said, man, I'm sure, and I got this big ass beard now. I'm sure I could just be having like the most evil look. But so yeah, man, I think yeah, that and it was at that point once I was leaving Todd's truck where that's when I realized that fucking Weston was belonged to O'Reilly. So I had to turn back and go like 18 minutes away, like like back to O'Reilly's. And when you go backwards, it take double the time to go to the next place that you got to go. Because you got to add the time that you going back and then the drive to the next place where you could have been already, which was Bartow Ford, the seventh stop of the day. And so, Bartow Ford, I remember the first time I went there, man, I got confused as hell. They got a parts department that says the parts department, but it ain't the parts department. The parts department over there, and it's hard to get to. Every time I go to that bitch, I gotta back up, and it's always shit in the way. Boy, you gotta take your motherfucking time, because it's just cars everywhere, and you can't hit them. And you gotta back this big ass truck up. But I just drive slow as a motherfucker, and I was watching the WWE Network. That's right, and I was having a good ass time. Bartow Ford always got heavy shit. And the guy came up, he had a pretty nice attitude, he was all right. He was, he was keeping, you could tell he the type of dude that keep a good attitude about everything, and he laugh at all your jokes and shit like that. That's what I noticed about him. He was real nice, and he's like, man, you got all the shit, huh? And I was like, lucky me, right? And he was like, Yeah. Um, I'm telling you, he had like a bunch of heavy ass shit like hitches. These things is like 150 to 200 pounds each. You know, I'm telling you, these bitches is heavy, man. These some heavy fucks. You know, and yeah, so I offloaded that. You know, it took a long ass time to do that. I'm doing that shit in the hot ass heat inside of that fucking box truck. The heat is it's probably like the top of the day right now, and that motherfucking heat is beaming. Or it may be 11, you know, going to be in the day, but either way, it's hot as a motherfucker. That sun does not fucking play. We in Florida, damn. And like the AC, like inside the Penske that I was in, it was okay, but I'm used to it being cold in our other trucks, you know. But yeah, another guy had came over and helped him out. You know what I'm saying? He had like took the shit off with a dolly, you know, and I was like offload, and I was just like offloading the shit while he carried each piece with a dolly. You know, they was like, damn, we ain't gonna make that man do double work. It's like, you mean I gotta offload it and take it over there? Cause some places be making you do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I know a place called Proaya. They don't give a fuck. And it's like them motherfuckers won't come out and help you unless that old man say something. So I don't know. Anyways, that's the story of Bartow. So then, let me see where I had to go from Bartow. Yeah, that's right. They had a shitload of shit. I had to go to Big Tire Man Inc. And that's a 46-minute drive. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean about getting behind, because some places like it's, you know, it take a while to get there, and that was 46 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Which really that's pretty quick compared to some of the drives, because some drives be like 2 hours. You know what I mean? But yeah, I went to Big T Tire Man, and you gotta understand, Run Four is like, you know, it's like it's one of the more rare routes that I do. Like I don't do that a lot, and that it's because of this shit. It's because of this. It's crazy. So yeah, I go to the Big T Tire Man, and then you know, I actually just walk in. You know, the guys point me to this two big fat dudes. They just, you know, people they'll just sit there and look at you like they don't know what you there for. I'm in a big ass truck and I'm wearing this fucking uniform and I got papers in my hand. What do it look like I want to do? And you literally got to say to them, "Hey man, you know, is there anybody who can help me with this?" You know, they know what you want, but they just pointed me to the parts department. You know, to go around that door. You know. And you know, there I am. I'm waiting, and it's one of them type of places that it's like people looking like they don't want to help you and shit. But you know, once it's your turn, oh yeah, I'm gonna help you, cause you know the customer's always right. Kiss my ass. But before any of that could happen, you know, a guy had came out of the bathroom and he was like, "Hey man, what you got there?" And you know, I showed him the papers and shit. You know, and he walked onto the truck. He knew what it was, just like them other niggas knew what it was. So he just walked straight to the truck. Let me see, what did he have? He had something. He had like a couple big things, but you know, it wasn't nothing crazy. You know what I mean? I just offloaded it. You know, when you get that big shit off, you be so happy because you got room now, you got space. But that just really wasn't the case on yesterday. You know, it's like but I was still happy to get it off though. You know, and then I went to Tom's Auto Options. It's this sexy ass older lady. She probably about 50 or, you know, something like that. But yeah, she's sexy. Her name's Jenny. I got her card right here. Y'all will see it later. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna look her up and see if she got any sexy pictures, even though she probably don't. But she probably on Facebook. Anyways, edit that out, Martha. Yeah, went to Tom's Auto Option. She only had 3 parts, but she had 2 hitches that I had. You know, and at least it was the wrapped up kind that's inside. You know, wrapped up in the rubber. You know, it was 2 of those, and I was supposed to ask her. Do she want both of them or just one? Because she had, you know, got shorted the day previously by somebody, and she only wanted one. You know, it wasn't no big deal. You know, I was pretty much in and out of there with her. Then from there, you go like right up the street. You know, and she like only like 6 minutes from Big T. It probably took me about 10 minutes to get to her. You know what I mean? Then I went to Stewart's, and earlier I had made the mistake of because Stewart's had a tote. Everything it was inside a tote that was specifically for them, and I made a mistake and poured like the stuff from like somebody else tote, like a bunch of shit. It was like I poured it all inside of the Stewart's tote. So when I got the Stewart's, I had to stop and like look at the paper and match every number and take each item out and put it where it's supposed to go. And then this big dude came out and helped me out, and I was like, "Hey man, you know these parts by heart." I just wanted to make sure that they was the right parts. And he was like, "Yeah, I can help you, but I'd rather help you in the AC." Because it was hot as fuck outside, and I couldn't even be offended by his smart ass comment, because he was right. So I went inside. He's like, I'm sure you rather do that too, and I'm like, yeah. So we went inside, and he looked over the parts, and they was all the right parts. I did it good. Then I went to Florida Outdoors, and it was supposed to be 109, but I can't tell you what time it was. It was probably like way later than that, dog. I gotta tell you the truth. It was probably like at least like 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? Like it was probably like 2 hours later, like 3 something. Could have been even 3:30 or something. Or something like that. I went to Florida Outdoors, and they only had like one tote full of stuff, and I ain't fuck up and post shit in they shit. So I just gave them the tote, and the lady was like, Florida Outdoors is this place that like got all these fucking mirrors. When you walk in, it's just mirrors everywhere, and you just see yourself everywhere. You know what I mean? It's just mirrors surrounding you. And the lady asked me if I'm having a good day, and I said, "Man, I'm trying to." I said, "I'm trying my best." And she said, she said, she said her mom had passed, and then that just like fucked with me right there. And she's like, when she passed, she had the hardest time dealing with it. And one day this lady had came up to her and said to her to find one beautiful thing every single day. Just find one thing that's beautiful every day. And she said that when she wake up, she wake up next to her husband, who was this big dude who was also there when she greeted me. He kind of just like, said hello and walked out. He left. But she said she look over to him and then she see her granddaughter, and that just set her whole day. And you can tell like she not lying. Like she like very like high spirited. Like she very nice. She like a white lady, and she like like heavy set, and but she was like real sweet though. And she always, every time I told her that, I was like I can tell because every time every time I see you, you like this. She's like, yep. And so I told her I appreciate it. And I was trying. I thought about what she said. I actually considered it. Then I had to go to Mike Hess. Mike Hess had this big heavy ass fucking awning, and they was 29 minutes away, but that shit wasn't no 29-minute drive. It took it because you be in traffic on the way back, and they had this big heavy ass awning and like 2 other things. But on the way to Mike Hess, that's when I got sideswiped by this fucking lady who said that she was talking shit to her daughter. She just like she this cougar lady, like when she admitted that she had hit me and she was all apologetic, I really wanted to ask her for her phone number, edit that out, Martha. But of course I didn't, and like it was just like a little small scrape, like, and it wasn't even like really noticeable. Like it ain't something that somebody gonna like just be like, hey, what the hell? Because it's on this big ass Penske truck, and trucks always have marks on them. From shit like this, people side swiping them. Because in that Penske, you can't see on the side, like your side view mirrors, they don't really show what's behind you. like in the trucks that I'm used to driving. Those big ass Penske's is wide as fuck, and you can't see behind you at all, kind of. You can only halfway see. But so yeah, I just let her go since it wasn't a big deal, and she was like, "God bless you," you know. I told her she told me thank you, and it was what it was. I shook her hand. She said her name was Samantha, because I asked her what her name was, and I was gonna start the run game, like I said, but I was like, man, nah, I want to move on. I just wanted to keep going. So, anyways, uh, yeah, I had to go to JC Customs, and these is like the last couple stops of the day. JC Customs is right around the corner from Truckmaster, but oh no, no, no. From there I went to Mike Hess, and yeah, like I said, I had to drag the fucking heavy ass awning into his yard. This was actually a house in the fucking boondocks. It's like some old the countryest shit. Like it was like so country. It was like out of this world. Like from a movie, and like you feel like you're gonna get lynched. And like like I'm telling you, they got the wire rusted fences and just like shacks. It was crazy. But yeah, that's where it was at. That was in Frostproof. Yeah, it was in Frostproof, Florida. I can't even say it right, but yeah, Frostproof. Anyways, and that shit, I was dragging that heavy. I'm telling you, that shit had to be like 150, 200 pounds. I was dragging that heavy shit through that thick ass sand, and had to open that fence, and then drag it in there. Then I had to pick shit up. I had to pick up on it, but it wasn't as heavy. It was like considerably light in comparison. And I had to pick that up. It was all damaged and crooked like a penis. No homo. My penis is crooked. But anyways, you know, curved. Curved. But anyways, so yeah, I put the sticker on that. Then the other thing he didn't have, it just wasn't there. He had some other shit inside the thing, but the part numbers ain't match. I don't know who the hell he think he's trying to fool. So JC Customs was 39 minutes away, and I went up in there and I offloaded day stuff, and when I went to that place, this guy he was making some kind of joke, and I halfway laughed at it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he was trying to make me laugh. You know how people be trying to make you laugh when they talking to their friend because they want you to join in. Because they happy. And so I halfway. Ah, you crazy? Type of shit. And he offered me some water. He seen because they had a whole bunch of shit. They had like heavy ass shit like everybody else, and you know he seen how hard I had been working out there in that hot ass sun. He offered me some water. He gave me this red Solo cup, man, and I got two big ass cups of that shit. And it was so refreshing. He was like kind of like the dude from Bartow 4, like real whimsical and like laughing and shit, like just happy. He was like, just don't press the red one, man. He's like, man, I pressed that thing one time, and he was like, I said, you got the shock of your life, huh? He just started he bust out laughing. So yeah, but them 2 cups of water though, that shit was so refreshing, you know. And throughout the day, I made me like some sandwiches on the road. I'm driving and making damn bologna and cheese sandwiches. Like, this is incredible. And I ain't gonna lie, like for drinks, I had stole this. They had like half a case of water. I stole it from the warehouse that in the morning before I left. I took it and I did the Ernest Shyster walk, uh, the IRS walk to the fucking break room, and I put that shit inside the fucking freezer, let that shit freeze for a minute, and then I took it and I put it in my bag, and ain't nobody see me, I don't think. But even if they did, they probably ain't give a fuck. And yep, and I hauled ass, and that's what I had to drink and to eat. Bologna and cheese. God, long live bologna and cheese sandwiches. Yeah, and then Truckmasters was the last place. They had a huge ass undercover that just kept falling over all day. Like, remember? Oh yeah, and when I had left Mike Hess, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I stopped like several times to like rearrange, stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? And every time I rearranged it to make it stand right, it just kept falling over. So yeah, I think I rearranged it one last time to where like I actually laid the boxes the way they were supposed to be laid. That the dudes at O'Reilly's didn't stack right, and I laid them the right way, and like they stopped falling over. Eventually, and then I hit Truck Master, and the guy was like, "Man," the guy was like, "That truck full of returns," and I was like, "Yep." And he said, "That's crazy," and I was so mad and just so fed up. I said, "Thank you." And he didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like he seemed like he wanted to be a dickhead, but like he felt me so much like he just couldn't. He was just like he just didn't say nothing. You know, he appreciated that I thanked him because he knew what I was talking about. That's what I got from it. And then this big dude came out. You know what I'm saying? And he had to return a hitch, a heavy ass hitch. He had the hardest time. He squatted down and he was like, and he just couldn't get up under it. You know what I'm saying? He just couldn't get it. He couldn't because it's so heavy. You can't even lift it up. It's hard to grab. It's just heavy. Damn, it's heavy. And yeah, so he put it up on the thing, on the counter in front of him. After he finally got it, and he was like, damn, makes you feel like an old man. I'm like, man, I said, man, that shit is heavy no matter how old you is. Like, that shit is heavy. And I just grabbed that shit. He probably looked at me like I grabbed it like it was nothing, but it was already up, I already had the leverage, you know. So I just picked it up. I put it on my shoulder, and I just slammed the holy hell out of that motherfucker on the truck. He was like, damn. I was like, yeah. And Truck Masters was the last stop of the day, but there's more. Because from there, I was given instructions to go on and go to fucking go to fucking Advanced Auto Parts, this giant warehouse, this giant Advanced Auto warehouse, which I have been to before, and this is a type of place that you don't want to go because it's a giant warehouse, and warehouses are full of people with departments that they know about, and they don't know about that other shit. And so when you go asking for people, you never find who you looking for. Cause don't nobody know who Alma is. I'm asking this. I asked the security lady for Alma. She sent me to this guy who pointed me to these other people, and I called Ruben and I said, "Hey man, don't nobody know Alma, cause that's who he asked me to look for when I got there. He asked me that before I left in the morning. Shit be happening in the morning. I ain't even tell y'all about the morning, cause like it's like you just put it behind you. You know what I'm saying? You just move past it. But yeah, man. Um, he said, man, Ruben knew what I was in store for. You know, it was a secret to him. I think it was a real. And yeah, he said not to worry about it. And I just sat there and I did all of my paperwork. It's paper scattered all over my dashboard from all the paperwork that I collected all day. And there's paperwork in the seat on the right of me. And it's just like shit everywhere. So I collect it all. I put it in order as best as I possibly can. And I just like kind of scrabble through like a whole lot of that shit. I just at this time I ain't give a fuck. I called my mom and I yelled at her. And she was like, "That's all right, baby. That's what I'm here for." I said, "Sorry, ma." I said I'm sorry. I'm frustrated. And yeah. So yeah. Then I talked to her for about 20 minutes or so, and I hung up, and I just headed home. I just headed home. Stopped and got gas at the gas station, uh, I needed I wanted to throw away all all of the trash that I had collected, so I had put it inside of that big brown bag that I had all day. But I wanted to keep the bologna and cheese and all that stuff, so I went inside of the gas station store and asked Corinne for a plastic bag. She was like, "Yeah, of course you can get a plastic bag," but I was like, "Nah, I just don't want to, just come and take it." I had to ask because otherwise you wouldn't know what I wanted if I didn't ask for it. She just made this face like, "Yeah, you can have it, duh," but she ain't mean it like that. It's like, of course I give you that. You know, Corinne, she cool as hell. She one of the coolest people you can meet. In fact, everybody at that gas station is cool as fuck. I'm telling you, like that's the best. It's one of those places. Like the first person I met was Terrence, and like he cool as fuck. Like he just like he like talk proper, but he a black dude and he got like dreads, and he just nice, and he just chilling, and he the first person I met, and everybody that I met there since is cool as fuck, whether they still work there or not. They got this sweet ass Puerto Rican girl there. She just sweet. She remind me of Shayla. She just nice, and then um they got this gay dude there. He always hooked me up with food. Like, he cool as hell. Like he double cool. No homo. And then who else? They got this cat named John. He always, every time I walk in, he addressed me by name. He's just nice. And the manager cool as hell. And I got to thinking about it, and I was like, because the manager cool. Like he talk to you, and he always tell you to have a good day. Like he always make it a point, to, like greet you and tell you have a good one. He like the store clerk, that's inside those little kids books. Hi, Mister Joe. He like that. He's just nice. He be telling me about water. He can tell you about anything. Tell me about all kind of shit, man. And he's hiring these people, and it just make me think it's like he hired those types of people, just like those cool people, you know, because he always talked to me, like he always come up to me and talk to me and stuff. But yeah, Corinne gave me the bags. I went on and handled my business with the bags, and I left. Filled up the gas, and when I had talked to Ruben, he had called me back and he said he wanted me to take the key to him. We live in the same apartment, so I was like, yeah, that's cool, man. And I handled my business, man. Got up out of there, took him the key. He was up there at the pool, and I was like, he seen the look on my face. I stood at the fence of the pool, and he just kind of like laughed to himself, and I was like, you knew it was gonna be a rough day, didn't you? He was like, that's four, man. And that's all I got to say about it. That's four. I came home. I wanted to lay down and sleep and rest. I wanted to do this podcast. I wanted to do a lot of things. I had a lot on my mind. But for like about an hour, I went to bed. I went to sleep for about like 1 hour, and then I woke up like at 10:45 exactly when my alarm went off. It actually went off at 10:30, but I made two alarms. And I kind of like completely ignored the first one, like I just didn't hear it. Woke up at 10:45. I went and got Tony B and everything, and when I went and got him, I was happy to see him come out. Like I was waiting for about like 4 minutes and change probably. When I was sitting out waiting on him, and then he came out, and I was like, yes, he coming. And then the dude came up and started talking to him. And I was like, man, move. And I think it was the dude that he said got stank breath. And I'm like, just get your stink breath ass out of his face. And then I started to feel like, oh shit, he gonna ask for a ride or something. And like, I probably literally legit would have told him no. Yeah, I probably would have, man. Yeah, man, I probably would have told his ass no. And so that was that, man. He got in the car. He asked me how I was, if I'm good and everything. I was like, like a drunken yes. And yeah. The car drove itself to the house. I floated up the stairs, and I went to sleep. And I woke up, and I was worried all last night about the whole car crash incident. Like once I, not the car, the incident on the road. I was worried about that, and I turned off my phone. I ain't want to hear shit. Like, don't call me. Don't say nothing. I told DJ. I mean, I told Ruben everything that I possibly could tell him about what happened at that gate when I gave him the key. You know, I notified him about it, and then throughout the day, I called him a couple times to tell him different things that was happening, like, with certain paperwork and things like that. um, so that they wouldn't call me. Don't call me. Don't say nothing. And yeah. Then I get a text from DJ. So remember that I go to bed hoping, and praying that this don't come up, right? I get a text from DJ that says, "Call me when you wake up." Oh shit! So I called him, man. I called him immediately. It's like, cause when you turn your phone on, right? Like all the messages that you get come delayed, and I get do 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 do. Oh, such and such liked your post. Do 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 do. Such and such uploaded a new video. Do 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 do. Oh, Keisha sending you a morning text message. The good word. Do 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 do. This message from this person. Then it stopped. And your shit. Oh, life is good. Life is grand. Do 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 do. Fuck. And it's from DJ. Call me when you get up. Son of a bitch. And I called him, and he was telling me that it wasn't no paperwork on the stuff from O'Reilly's, and I didn't give a half a shit. He was telling me about it. Yeah, it wasn't no paperwork. It didn't match, and certain shit like that. And he was like, we couldn't scan it out, and I'm like, well, And he was like, but I ain't even at the fucking warehouse, so don't worry about it. If I need you, I'll just call you, and. And I'm like, all right, man. And then he was like, and you got some classes due too. You got to do some classes. So, you're the only one that ain't did them. So, do them, please. And I'm like, it ain't no big deal. I can get those done, you know. And that was it. He didn't say shit about the truck. So now, if anything, shit, don't nobody know who did it, cause shit, somebody else driving the truck now. It could have been them. You can't blame me. I'm happy about that. I was supposed to get a job, working with these other people. I was gonna make a jump. Now I got to be like nice to Keystone, cause I'm trying to keep my job. Failed the drug test. Do not use your own pee. That fine ass girl that give you the instructions on how to pass a drug test on YouTube. Don't do that part where she say use your own pee to make it warm. Don't do that shit. I'm telling you. Don't do that shit. Use hand warmers. Your shit gonna be warm as hell down there while you holding it though. You know what I'm saying? Use hand warmers that keep that temperature, you know what I'm saying, nice and warm. Yeah. 98.6. Woo. That's where to go. But yeah, man. That's it though. That's my podcast. I can't even have a guest. This was supposed to just be an intro, but I'm just gonna go ahead and make it a podcast, I guess. So yeah, I appreciate y'all listening to me, and tune in next time.